Yeah. Glitch the guarantee. E&E. With your boy shit. Glitch, nigga. Shit, I'm about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Criminal minds, my Garcia can navigate. Flowing while I'm blowing this gas. Nigga, no brakes. Niggas not seeing me ever. I mean, no dates. Fuck around and end up gone. You getting misplaced. E&E, the shit that I claim. You dealing with grace. Took over the game by storm like Rain's mixtape. Thankfully, I've been up in smoke like my mixtape. Counting cheddar shit, I'm about to make a grilled cheese. Niggas be faker than bad bitches with good weeds. On my John Wick shit like Keanu Reeves. Replacements won't be enough, you need the whole team. I've been a G since I could finish my ABCs. Kept it a buck so real niggas look up to me. This butcher boy shit get crazy. When it's sick of me, I'm coughing out these dope bars till they sick of me.
Can't get rid of me, still can't find a remedy. Still blowing palmers, infill cups of Hennessy. E&E, we own our shit independently. When I go out on a limb, I take extremities. I can see right through on transparency. Heard they self-esteem low, insecurities. Now or never, like glitch the guarantee. What's the recipe? King L's Reflection 3. All these chapters in my life, you can turn the page. Books can't tell you my story, gotta live a day. Glitch got my back, yeah, you can copy that. Man, we control the seat, you can copy that. Leave your whole state red like Republicans. Putting fire on the track, now it's bubbling. Butcher boys, E&E, you in trouble, kid. Add first 100 mil, you can double it.
Let's go, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Let it show. Automatic nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go. Let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Blow sick, corona, jealous in the motherfucker. Can't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned to shining king under pressure. West side fat jacks, I took more to measure. Shave the extras, that's business, starter fees. Street blues, what I taught, royal blood flowing free. Power on my mind, no say gang is kind. Read between the lines, it was in my eye. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated, ultra real, Fern Gully Mountain shit. Couple hot shots, turn on the frozen margaritas. Even better when it's served with some flawless features. Next year they gotta pay for these flawless features. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I board the plane non-stop. The little J gon' take over with my time side.
Yeah, I get right to it. My nigga, we beg your pardon. We putting niggas back in boxes. Yeah, they be harder. My flow be retarded. Sick, I need hella help. My groove came back. This must be how Stella felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the pros. This is how LaMelo felt. You better yell out help. Here comes the double team. You catch me in the spot, then you know that the boy is clean. The Louis V look mean with the magazine. So if you try it, you get shot. No vaccine. If you asleep before I came, then I'm the caffeine. I pull the jokers out the deck. Yeah, there ain't no laughing. In CEO fashion, we sticking to the business. Wouldn't even let a vegan knock me off my chicken. Something about the BBS when the sun is hitting. Should be flashing like the lights when you getting
Let's
tickets.
go, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. Let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Yeah. What up? Congratulations, brother Virgil Bear, aka Stack with the Facts. I know we here, Jack. Tap in, walk with us. We're gonna get to it. You already know.
Yeah.
Smash that like button.
Glitch the guarantee.
Who's good with everybody?
E&E.
I apologize for the target.
2020 got me seeing so clear. Put your boy shit.
What we here now?
Glitch.
Oh no. Let's go.
This is the
Boogie
pool.
Major.
We on the rise now. Middle fingers in the sky now. Rolling haze, so we high now. How we ride now? All coops with the top down. And we listen in the top down. Trees got a whole pound. Real G's when we come round. Niggas know how it's going down. Yeah, we on the up, bitch. Real shit you should fuck with. E&E, throw it up shit.
And we stay ballin', like we sponsored by Spalding. War looking for the fall-in, soldiers all fall in. And we go all in, while we listening to all in. While you all talking, we smoking and coughing.
Okay.
We laying in the coffin, glitching, nauseous. Yeah, stepping out office. Yeah, it is that bullshit. Kill him in vain is vanity.
Yeah.
Do it again, it's insanity.
Yeah.
Nauseous a real vigilante.
Yeah.
Killing these kids is plan B.
Yeah.
Hood is too hot with an antifreeze. Blowing on leaves in these planted trees. Don't break the code, the family. We cutting off legs like amputees. My flow is classic, antique. Freaking the beat is it Japanese. Ever our cook is a masterpiece. When money talkers, we Japanese. Fire and flame mixed with gasoline. Pass to my sons, that's a legacy. Study the gang, now they testing me. They dropped the ball, man, that's incomplete. Beat them so bad, make them retreat. All of these gems you can retweet. Play with your boys on repeat. You pay the price with your receipt. Below $1 million, flipping it. Everyday noise get sickening. Trying to flip bills to trillions. Turning these good girls to villains. Lyrics is sick, butcher with shit. E&E clip what we represent. Put it on wax like a candlestick. We moving units and measurements. Cooking it up in the lab. We just performing experiments. Since I'm the bomb atomic, these rappers out of my
We on the
element.
rise now, middle fingers in the sky now. Rolling haze, so we high now. How we ride now? All coops with the top down. And we listen in the top down. Trees got a whole pound. Real G's when we come round. Niggas know how it's going down. Yeah, we on the up, bitch. Real shit you should fuck with. E&E, throw it up shit.
And we stay ballin', like we sponsored by Spalding. Poor looking for the fall-in, soldiers all fall in. And we go all in, while we listening to all in. While you all talking, we smoking and coughing. Till we land in the coffin, glitching, nauseous. Yeah, stepping out office. Yeah, it is that bullshit.
Glitch, nigga, perfected my flow. If I'm on the track, then you know it's a go. The guarantee, nigga, and I guarantee treat the gas like the Clippers. You know I'm a choke. Only exotic when blowing the smoke. No one ahead of me. I got the recipe. Do this shit easily. This is my destiny. Sick throwing lobs. I'm dunking on everything. Niggas is sick, and I got the remedy. What I prescribe is extra artillery. Get in my zone and start going berserk. I'm feeling like Clay when he went off a 60. With the bullshit, swear to God you can miss me. Best friends with the money, Aaliyah and Missy. I come from the bottom. To try me is risky. Throwing this K like that bitch is a frisbee. Real talk. Let me lock in. Show these niggas what I do. Axe Rain. I'll be standing next to players too. Front line shit, nigga, I'm the fucking truth. Top 6 ever of the 5 in my group. Niggas still bang top down in the coop. Put your boy up and we coming for the loot. E&E shit, we the best, yeah, it's true. This the guarantee, nigga, this is what I do.
Yeah. We here. Tap in, walk with him, man. Yeah. What's good with everybody, man? Excuse me, man. Y'all gotta excuse me, man. I had to go get something to eat at the last minute. It's been blazing hot in my city for the past week or so. Needless to say, I ain't been on the grill and I ain't been cooking. I even went to the grocery store. It's a good thing I didn't, because this weekend that just passed, the power was out for a significant amount of time last weekend. I mean, it came back on eventually, but that was just a sign for me to not go to the grocery store, because I had every bit planned last Friday to go to the grocery store. And it rained so bad the night that it knocked the power out. So, that just was my sign to not go to the grocery store. And I didn't, but I'm going this weekend. Fuss out. What's good with everybody, man? How y'all doing, man? Y'all already know what it is, man. We here Wednesday night. You know what I'm talking about? About to do a lot of things on the page. We're about to get rid of a lot of content, do a purge. We're about to get back to interviews, doing more. I got interviews set up for right at this point, I got interviews set up for 2 months out. And we're about to start doing these interviews. You dig? And we're going to have diversify some things. We're going to have specific shows. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna like these two. Spiritual Root Sundays is coming back. I don't want to say we having an episode this Sunday because my pops is still kind of in his recovery mode, and he got some other things going on right now. So I don't know if we actually going to do a show on Sunday. But when I talked to my pops, he said he wants to do a show Sunday. I ain't gonna perp y'all. He didn't say we doing a show Sunday. He said he wants to. So I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow, or should I say Friday? When I get off work on Friday, I'm gonna go holler at I'm gonna go swing by my pop's crib and go holler at him and see what's going on with the next episode of Spiritual Root Sundays. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't had them in a minute. You know what I'm talking about? XL Pro, what happening, man? You did. And y'all already know, man, tonight, man, listen, man. Shout out to my brother XL Pro, man. You feel me? Because he be sending me a lot of articles, man. And I appreciate that. You feel me? Stuff I already be talking to y'all about. My brother XL Pro be sending me a lot of articles, you know what I'm saying? And I really do appreciate that, brother. Steel sharpens steel, Jack. All right. Wow. All right. But what y'all know about, and I've been talking about this to y'all for quite some time, right? And I do so in the way that I do because, as y'all see, this is stuff that's talked about publicly, but not talked about publicly enough to where everybody is privy to it. It's talked about publicly enough to where you can't say they're hiding it, but not publicly so to where it's on mainstream TV, on mainstream news, and you just see it in your face. Young Jalen, what's good? Right? How long have I been telling y'all about human brain computer interfacing? How long have I been talking to y'all about this, man? And I'm going to continue to talk to y'all about this stuff. Every time I hear something new, every time something come across my desk, we're gonna talk about it. Because it's necessary that we do. Because as y'all see, the smart grid is here and it's like speeding up, amplifying, if you would. Right? Getting pause bigger, faster, and stronger. And we got to remain ever more vigilant so we can stay up on game. You understand what I'm saying, man? Now, I've been talking to y'all about this stuff for quite some time, man. And before I came on YouTube and other spaces for even longer. You know what I'm saying? Amongst my personal friends and family, even longer. You know what I'm saying? But we have come into this point in time where we are coming in contact with entities from other worlds, right? And through the rulers of darkness of this world, creating the communication, creating the link, the sync, the bridge, if you would. What y'all know about an Einstein-Rosen bridge? All right. Bringing things into fruition. And I mean, you know, this is inevitable right here. This is when we just did the 10 stages of artificial intelligence on Monday, right? And this level of artificial intelligence is God level. Because now we creating new life forms. Right? Or so we think we are. You did. Human brain computer interfacing. It's straight out of the deepest, darkest pits of hell. All right. Let me tell y'all that off top. Right. You did. The smart grid, like I've been telling y'all, the unintelligent artificial intelligence, metaverse, all of this new tech is literally the expression of the mind of Lucifer, Satan, the devil. And when this was revealed to me, man, it just all dawned on me at one moment, and I just was able. It's like I seen from the beginning to the end. I'm like, wow, this is how it's been the whole. You know what I'm talking about? And this is why I say the way I say, and this is why it's important that me and my pops come back. You know what I'm saying? Doing the spiritual root Sundays, so we can balance things of the spiritual with things of the so-called natural or physical. You know, this is crazy, man. And y'all already know who's involved with this, who's spearheading this. Oh my God, man. All right. This is insane, man. You hear me? We live in tragic yet beautiful times. You know? And tonight we're not just talking, we're talking about the integration. This is what UN Agenda 2030 is all about. This is what UN Agenda 2030 is all about. It's about preparing us psychologically, perceptually, to be synced and linked to the very mind of Lucifer, Satan, the devil, via the smart grid, social credit system / metaverse, or as I like to say, the oasis. In a nutshell. You dig? And now they have got to the point where they are, and this is what UN Agenda 2030 is all about. It's about the merging of human biology, physiology, with the unintelligent artificial intelligence, hardware, and software. That's what UN Agenda 2030 is all about. They call it the singularity. Your boy Ray Kurzweil, who's the chief futurist at Google. It's crazy how a lot of people know about Google but don't know who Kurzweil is. Just like people all on YouTube and they don't know who Bryn Page and Wachitsky is. All right. And we know Elon Musk is fully involved with this. Him and Sergey Brin and Larry Page are very good friends. The daughter, or should I say the mother of Elon Musk's transgender child, is real good friends with Susan Wojcicki. All right? Wojcicki or whatever, however you say her name. All right? So when we're talking about human brain computer interfacing, y'all, we talking about all this stuff that I be talking about to y'all. And they done got to the point, man, where they are literally fusing human biology into these robots. I'm sitting here trying to tell y'all, man, this is where this is headed, man. In order to listen, right? And I'm gonna bring this up. Excuse me. Pardon me. All right. Like the architect told Neo, you have to return to the source. You absolutely have to return to the source. The Matrix movies were very, very revealing of a lot of things. You know? But like the architect told Neo, you must return to the source. All right? And in order to over, enter, out, or understand what we actually are up against, you have to return to the source. Right? Just put that out there. Smash that like button, click the bell, subscribe to the page, Jack. Right? Just keep that in mind. You know, gotta return to the source. But what this is doing through this technology, mind you, this tech does not come from the Most High at all. Does not come from Yeshua. Right? This doesn't come from him. Right? So when we're talking about this technology, we're talking about the literal personification through the technology of Lucifer, Satan, the devil. And in order to cut us off from the source, these technologies are being introduced. Let's just say this technology is amplifying the frequency of the reprobate mind. I'm gonna repeat that. The technology that the unintelligent artificial intelligence is using, right, is cutting us off from the source and amplifying the frequency of the reprobate mind. Right? And this is why this stuff is being promoted in the way it is. Right? It's very diabolical. See everybody using that word diabolical and they just use it all wrong. Don't you hate when people use words out of context? That grinds my gears. But, and this is why we being introduced with synthetic humans, robots with human biology, humans with robot technology, and unintelligent artificial intelligence. You got Neuralink. They want to put microchips and computer chips into our brains, which are the prime computer chips. Even as manipulated as they are, even as in such a fallen state as we are, right? And listen, y'all, man, they is not playing with this stuff, man. They're not playing at all, man. They dead ass. They dead ass, bro. Come on, man. Shout out to the homies over there at AI Revolution, man. Fair use. I watch, you know what I'm saying, a lot of y'all's content. You feel me? A lot of y'all stuff. It's very informative. You know, y'all one of the one of the leading pages that stay focused on this topic outside of A Real Talk podcast. You did. Listen here, y'all, man. The smart grid is now here. You hear me? It's here. You did? I'm making robots with brains, man. Let's go, man.
All right, guys, let's talk about the insane pace of AI and robotics development lately. It's been moving fast, real fast, but what's happening in China right now is on a whole other level. They've created an AI robot that's unlike anything we've seen before. And trust me, when I first heard about this, my mind was blown. Let's cut to the chase.
Cut to the chase!
This isn't your average robot with a silicon brain. Nah, these mad scientists have gone and given it a brain made from actual living cells. You're not mishearing me. We're talking about a robot with a partially biological brain. They've crossed a line that many thought was uncrossable, redefining the very essence of artificial intelligence.
All they're doing is syncing and linking two computers. Right? I don't know if y'all knew this or not. LP, what's happening, man? My brother LP in the building. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but our brains are very sophisticated computers, right? Totally gelatinous. They're made of cholesterol, which is very conducive for electricity, right? Especially in this reality. Our brains are the CPU of our full body computer, biological quantum computer at that, of the most advanced kind. Even in its fallen state, right? Because this is not the original version that we are currently in. I know some of y'all be listening to me like, man, this guy's crazy, right? Then that just means this ain't for you. This is for my people who, when they hear me talking, they like, oh, right? Our bodies are quantum biological computers. Our brain is the CPU, or central processing unit. Our input devices, or what you would compare to a mouse or a keyboard or a monitor, are our five senses connected to the various said corresponding organs: sight, eyes; nose, smell; mouth, taste; talk, right? Ears, hear; skin, feel, right? The motherboard of our biological computer is our nervous system, right? The modem would be our heart, and our heart cardiovascular system. Our antivirus protection is our immune system. Huh? Our how could I say this? Our let's say our biological fluids is the endocrine system, right? Our bodies are computers, biological quantum computers, right? And when it comes to linking a robot to our brain, is simply connecting. The reason why the connection is even compatible and possible is because you're linking and syncing two computers. Now, which one is more advanced? You know, they got these D-Wave quantum computers now. I'll mention them to y'all briefly, occasionally. But, you know, I digress. Let's go.
Intelligence.
What's up, man? Pull up.
Now, before you start picturing some kind of cyborg monstrosity, let me paint you a clearer picture. They're calling this thing a brain on a chip. Sounds pretty futuristic, right? Well, it kind of is. Instead of relying on traditional computer circuits, these researchers have grown teeny tiny brain cells in a lab and plopped them onto a microchip. With surgical precision, they've transplanted the essence of human cognition into the cold heart of a machine, kickstarting a whole new era of smart machines. But here's where it gets really trippy.
Huh? Do y'all see this, man? This ain't no conspiracy theory. Let me cam up on y'all. This ain't no conspiracy theory. This isn't me pulling stuff out of the ether, throwing it at the damn computer screen and hoping it stick. This is actual reality. There's tons of research, tons of videos, tons of TED Talks. You got Boston Dynamics. You got the one company over here in Asia and China. You got the people out there in Dubai. They doing a deal with Kroger to have autonomous vehicles that Kroger's going to be using. Can't think of the company right now. You know, you got Ectolife. I'm just saying, it's right here in your face. So, you know, it'd be funny to me when people call me a conspiracy theorist, when everything I talk about is actual facts. No conjecture, no making any of this up. Exactly. Right? Let's go, y'all.
Our brains, right? They're these complex networks of neurons all firing and connecting. Somehow, these absolute geniuses have managed to recreate that on this tiny chip. Now let's rewind a bit and talk about how they actually pulled this off. It all starts with stem cells, the superheroes of the cell world. These little guys can transform into pretty much any cell in your body. It's like cellular shape-shifting. So these scientists took
cellular shape-shifting. The very fact that they talk about this stuff publicly in the manner they do lets you know that they don't care, and it should also let y'all know that something huge is afoot. Pause. Something is on the horizon, and it's called UN Agenda 2030 for Global Sustainability. Right? Now, on the outside front, they're promoting this thing now publicly as if this is going to somehow save the world and bring us all under a global unilateral system of fairness and equality. Yeah, right. Y'all see what happened back in Auschwitz and Dachau and Sobibor. Uncle Diggity, what's good, man? Yeah, nanobots are part of this as well, OG. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Right? So when they're talking about cellular, right? You want to know what's funny, Uncle D? The people
body. It's like cellular shape-shifting. So
when we're talking about cellular shape-shifting, let me tell y'all something. In our original design, we didn't shape-shift. There was no need to. We weren't created in the image and likeness of reptiles. They shape-shift. We don't. But due to certain manipulation, integration, fornication, or should I say fornication, copulation, gestation, menstruation, we now got this. Right? So we're talking about cellular shape-shifting. For one, we weren't created to have cells. And two, we most definitely weren't created to shape-shift. Because Yeshua was not a shapeshifter. Let's go, man. Pop said he might be coming back Sunday, Uncle Diggity, man. We're going to pray on it, man.
These scientists took these stem cells and essentially said, today you're going to be brain cells, and somehow they actually managed to do it. They coaxed these cells into growing.
Somehow you got dendritic cell connectors at a microscopic level. Right. And they just out of a sudden, they program these neurons to make, come on, man. You already know, Uncle Diggity, man. You already know. Let's go, y'all. Let's listen.
Into this intricate network of brain cells, any cell in your body. It's like cellular shape-shifting. So these scientists took these stem cells and essentially said, today you're going to be brain cells, and somehow they actually managed to do it. They coaxed these cells into growing into this intricate network of brain cells, mimicking what you'd find in a human brain. Then, in a move that probably made every sci-fi writer jealous, they stuck this cellular brain onto a special microchip. And just like that, robot brain. Now, you might be thinking this is cool and all, but why should we care? Well, let me tell you, this is a game changer. Most AI we deal with today is based on computer programs, right? It's all coded and pre-programmed, but this is a whole different ball game. This robot can actually learn and adapt like a living creature. It's not just following a set of instructions, it's experiencing things. And
now think about Boston Dynamics. Think about movies like Surrogates, what we talked about on, man, listen. Why you think they creating all these humanoid robots and stuff, man? You know, why you think they trying to upgrade us, enhance us? By integrating into our very bodies, very unintelligent artificial intelligence, robotic software and hardware that is going to cut us off from the source and connect us to the very mind through the metaverse and smart grid, social credit systems, human brain computer interfacing to the very mind of Lucifer, Satan, the devil, which is manifesting through into our reality as the unintelligent artificial intelligence. Hey, man, when I get done with this book, man, it's going to be cold, man. You hear me? I'm on chapter 9. Right? Right here in your face, man. Everything I'll be telling y'all, talking to y'all about concerning this stuff is now being talked about not only publicly, but by the very people who've been telling us for decades before that this stuff is so far in the future that we won't be around to see it. And here we is, 2024. We thought we'd be in flying cars and stuff like that. Nope. Right here where we at right now. And they do got flying cars. Just not for all the rest of us. Right? Here and now we're talking about sinking and linking, something I've been talking about for quite some time. When I first came home and I was telling people about this stuff, people were saying that Virgil was bugging. That stuff ain't gonna happen. They can't do that. And here it is. Here it is. I've been telling y'all about human brain computer interfacing. And here it is. Right in the face.
changing based on what it learns. It's closer to how our brains work than any AI we've seen before.
It's beautiful.
You have to guess. What's it look like?
Like it's thinking.
The implications of this are huge. Just take a second to consider the possibilities. Think about how this could revolutionize our understanding of the brain itself.
Artificial intelligence.
By studying these lab-grown brain networks, we might uncover new ways to tackle neurological diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. It's not just cool science.
See, that's the
Or Parkinson's.
That's the trick bag right there, y'all.
It's not just cool science. It's new ways to tackle neurological diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's.
That's the trick bag, y'all. That's the trick bag right there. It's going to cure diseases, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, Asperger's disease, all types of neurological and biological, physical, spatial. I'm talking about like moving your hands type diseases. Now that they done mapped out the brain digitally and can integrate it with technology, unintelligent artificial intelligence, it can now be given the power of the internet, basically, to heal itself and us. Y'all better recognize what's going on with this, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe, play. Let's go.
It's not just cool science, it's potentially life-changing stuff. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This tech, as amazing as it is, also opens up a whole can of worms when it comes to ethics. We're entering uncharted territory here. At what point does a robot with a living brain become, well, alive? It's not just a philosophical question anymore. It's something we might actually have to grapple with in the near future. Now, I can almost hear some of you freaking out. Skynet, anyone? Are we on the brink of a robot uprising? Relax, we're not quite there yet.
We're not quite there yet. Oh, yes, we are. We're past there.
This is still early days, and there's a lot of work to be done before we see this tech out in the wild. But it does mean we need to start having serious conversations about the implications of this technology. The thing is, this isn't just about creating smarter machines. It's about blurring the lines between artificial and biological intelligence. We're talking about a future where the boundaries between AI and biotechnology start to disappear. It's exciting, it's a little scary, and it's definitely going to change the world as we know it. But here's the thing, with all this potential comes a huge responsibility.
Are you afraid that I'm going to turn into some kind of criminal? Quit worrying about me, okay?
We're not just talking about technological advancement here. We're talking about potentially redefining what it means to be alive, to be conscious. These are big, heavy concepts that we as a society need to wrestle with. But that's the nature of progress.
And that's one of the main things right there, y'all. We know we got to get into the ethics of this, man. Now we got people who own these corporations that's bringing this stuff in. Now they're playing God, right? By integrating and introducing human biology with this technology. Now, I mentioned the guy earlier, all right? Y'all remember what I said his name was? He's been pretty low-key for the past few years. I wonder why. Maybe because we're getting closer to 2030. And maybe he probably realized he done overcooked the pudding a little bit. He talked about this stuff too much. And people are starting to find out who he is, who he's connected to, and what his real purpose is over there at Google, right? This guy, how many of y'all know who Ray Kurzweil is? Put an 11 in the chat if y'all know who Ray Kurzweil is.
So we've heard a lot about artificial intelligence. I've actually been involved with AI for 61 years, which is a record.
61 years. Hey, y'all need to go do your research on Ray Kurzweil, man. This freaking guy. He's on the chairboard of Google / Alphabet, YouTube, and everything else connected to that. He's called the chief futurist at Google. That is his official title, the chief futurist officer. It's not a play on CFO for chief financial officer. Another person has that job. His title is called the chief futurist. Exactly. And what do I always tell y'all? They're going to make it cool. It's so cool. Look, we could play video. We could play Modern Warfare. We could play Roblox. We could play Fortnite in real time, just like in Ready Player One. Fully submersive, deep fake technology, synced and linked through the Neuralink from Elon Musk to the social credit system / smart grid / metaverse. Y'all got to see how all this stuff fit together, man. Let's go.
And we've heard a lot about what people think about AI today. So I tried to figure out, what did we think about artificial intelligence 61 years ago? So first of all, if people ask, well, what are you into? I'd say artificial intelligence. And they say, what's that? So no one was really aware of it. I joined in 1962. 1956 was the conference where artificial intelligence got its name. So the views were quite different. People who were in computer science had heard.
Ray Kurzweil was born in 1948, which is the same year that the novel 1984 was copyrighted. Ray Kurzweil is damn near 80. He don't look that old. I gotta say, he doesn't. When you look at Ray Kurzweil, you can tell he's an elderly man, but he don't look like he damn near 80. Gotta say that. Let's go.
Of artificial intelligence, most people were quite skeptical. They thought it would never happen, or if they thought it would happen, maybe it would happen in a century or several centuries. But the people that actually came to that Dartmouth conference in 1956, they were quite optimistic. Some of them, including Minsky, thought it would take like one semester to reach the level of intelligence that humans had. And in fact, that led to our first argument. He was my mentor for 50 years, but we argued about that because I thought it would take decades, but we would see it within our lifetime. So we're the only species that actually creates tools that enhances our intelligence.
I'll pay attention to that, what he said. Mr. O, what happened, man? My Joe from Chicago, my other Joe from Chicago. What happened, Joe? We got Lance Parker and my brother, Mr. O, in the building representing that Chi-Town, you feel me? Right? My man said he didn't hate. He said he loathes. Right? Ray Kurzweil, chief futurist, Google, Alphabet, YouTube. You hear me? He's one of the guys that's behind the scenes on bringing in the unintelligent artificial intelligence. Right? He interacts with it, been interacting with it for the past 60 some odd years. Right? This freaking guy, man. Let's listen to this dude. Let's go.
I mean, I'll bet almost everybody has one of these. That makes us more intelligent. This connects to the cloud, gets more intelligent every year. Basically, the singularity is going to bring that into our minds. We're going to become smarter. And there's two different things we have in our anatomy that enable us to do that. One is our brain, but we're not the only species that has a brain or even a comparable brain. Elephants and whales actually have a brain that's larger than us. But there's another aspect of their anatomy that they don't have and that no one else has aside from humans, which is our thumb. So I can look at a tree and I can imagine, gee, I could take those poles and create a tool, and then I can actually do it. Now, monkeys, if you look at them, they have a thumb, but it doesn't really work very well. It's actually an inch down. They can grab things very without much force. They can create a first generation of tools, but they can't use that tool to create another set of tools. So they really can't create a whole set of tools that will enhance their intelligence. We're the only species that does that, and that's what artificial intelligence is doing. From the very first hominid that created a very primitive tool to Gemini and GPT-4 today, we create tools that make it smarter. And so I've been actually monitoring the growth of computation, which is...
My brother Flea said, I get computers putin, right? Flea said, I get computers putin. Shout out to my brother Flea, man. You know what I'm talking about? Right? You know, smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Let's go.
It's right here. I spent like 45 years on this. And as you go up the chart, it represents exponential growth. You might think that someone was in charge of this. Gee, we've done this much. It's in a straight line. Let's get our next computer to be right here. But no one was aware of it. No one even knew that this was happening for the first 40 years. I discovered this 45 years ago. I had various reasons to feel it would continue at this pace. In 1939, that represents 0.000007 calculations per second per constant dollar. At the upper right-hand corner, you've got a Google computer, which was 130 billion calculations per second. And recently, NVIDIA just came out with a chip which is 500 billion calculations per second. So this...
So I want y'all to understand. I want y'all to understand what it means to have the ability to extract information from damn near infinite sources at trillion times per second. But also keep in mind, y'all, and I gotta always tell y'all this. Keep in mind that much as advanced and sophisticated as this technology tries to convince us that it is, it could never be faster or smarter than you. Don't you ever forget that. Right? Don't think you're smart. Don't think you are. Know you are. Right? What did Morpheus tell Neo? Don't think you're faster. Know you're faster. You did. Let's go.
Little chart represents a growth of 75 quadrillion-fold increase. That's why we didn't have large language models in 1939 or even 3 years ago. We did have something called large language models. They didn't work very well 3 years ago. Began to work 2 years ago. We've seen the tremendous progress that's happened in the last 2 years. In 1999, I was asked to make a prediction of when would we see AGI, artificial general intelligence. And so I figured that this chart would continue, which it has. And I figured we'd need about 1 trillion calculations per second to do AGI. So I estimated 2029. That was met with a lot of skepticism. Stanford had actually been monitoring my predictions. They called an international conference to talk about my prediction.
This guy, man, right? This guy, Ray Kurzweil, man. Don't trust this dude either. Look at his hair, man. Right? His suspenders, man. I don't know anybody been paying attention to his suspenders. Look like it's got some creepy shit on there. All right. This dude, Ray Kurzweil, man. He's a hell of a guy, man. Let's go.
And hundreds of AI scientists came from around the world. And they agreed that it would happen. We would achieve AGI, but not within 30 years. The estimate was 100 years. And I've talked actually to some of the people who were there who said 100 years then, and they're basically agreeing it's going to happen very soon. Musk says it's going to happen in 2 years. It's not an unreasonable position. Other people saying 3 or 4 years. I'm sticking with 5 years, but it could happen soon. But it's
not a shimp. Lance Parker, you gotta tell us what a shimp is, man. I don't want to guess. I want you to tell me. UN Agenda 2030. All of this is planned to be in full culmination by 2030, which is literally 6 years from now. And they want to have us fully synced and linked to the smart grid, living in smart homes and smart mega cities and mega regions, living in assigned housing on a global minimum wage, assigned employment, global surveillance, a social credit system where we were constantly monitored and surveilled to make sure that we are complying and acquiescing to the rules of the global society. Because if we do not, we will be denied access to what the global system, new system has to offer as far as benefits, health care, living, where you work, etc., etc. Watch season 3, episode 1, Nosedive of Black Mirror on Netflix. If you want to get a depiction of what I'm talking about in real time, or just get on your Googler and go to YouTube and put in the search engine social credit system in China. You can see what's actually happening in real time and has been for the past damn near 15 years. Right? So anybody, and you know, I got to speak boldly like this because, you know, a lot of people, and I do this for a reason, y'all. A lot of people, when I first came home about 8 years ago, a lot of people called me conspiracy theorist. They called me crazy. They said that I just was bugging. And I'm sitting here telling people, like, this is what's coming. And here it is. And this is 8 years later. Not even a long time for real. Do you know how many emails I be getting, how many texts I get from people, how many DMs I get from people? And I just wanted to reiterate that to let y'all know, man, just to give y'all full proof that, man, when you stick to something and you know it's right and exact, you know what I'm saying, stick with it, man. See it through. Endure the ridicule, the criticism, endure the naysayers, endure the skeptics, you know, endure the haters, if you would. You know, this Lance Park, right? This guy Kurzweil, man. Y'all go look into who Kurzweil is, man. You know, these people are all connected to each other. Let's go.
Everybody agrees now AGI is very soon. So I have another book coming out. The singularity is nearer. And I've got about 50 graphs in there. I can't explain it right now, but if you
I don't know how to go get that.
Talk to me later, I can explain these charts. But it basically shows that artificial intelligence is going to take over everything. The amount of money that we make right now is 10 times greater in constant dollars than it was 100 years ago. We were very poor.
Here we go. Universal basic income. What have I been telling y'all, man? Listen, universal basic income, UBI, global mandatory minimum wage. Not, man. This is why I keep telling y'all to go read these two novels. 1984 by George Orwell and Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Go read those two books, man. Pretty sure Kurzweil here is a fan of both of them.
100 years ago, there was no government programs So we're much richer than we were then. And the movement, not only of computation, but every single technology is done by take the latest thing we've created and making the next one. We take the latest chip and we use that to create the next one. We have greater wealth, as I said, that leads to better education, leads to better doctors, leads to healthy people, leads to more global wealth. All of these things work together.
He just basically laid out UN Agenda 2030 and the you know what I'm saying, the 17 protocols of it. See, they trying to sell us this as if this is something that's going to help us out and make us better, this whole globalist thing, this whole smart grid social credit system that's going on in China right now. That they're trying to, I tell you, China is the map for the world, rest for us, man. What's going on in China is planned to go on all over the world. You know? Got this dude, man. I'm about to cuss, man. Trying to stop from cussing, man. Let's go.
AI supercharges everything. So I could talk about each thing as being actually revolutionized. I think the most interesting thing is actually medicine. There are a lot of people who are experts in AI who are against what's happening, and they're very nervous about it, and they think it's going to wipe us out. But people tend to get diseases which are threatening to them, and what's going to happen? People are going to get diseases, and AI is going to come up with a cure very soon, which will lead to a great deal of appreciation.
You see how they put these guys like Kurzweil out here in front of us to try to humanize the unintelligent artificial intelligence? I keep telling y'all this is how it's going to happen. Like I've been saying, they're going to sell this to us, advertise it to us, market it to us, promote it to us, manipulate us with it, deny us access to it when we don't comply and acquiesce, right? Because a lot of us have become addicted to this technology, right? Listen to what he just said. He said the unintelligent artificial intelligence is going to come up for cures for diseases. When the unintelligent artificial intelligence is derived from the very sickness it is trying or attempting to find a cure for. Now, if that is not Ouroboros, I don't know what is. That's the reason why I'm writing my book. Because we have to understand, and I want to say all, because that would imply that I know everything and I don't. But we must understand as many ways as possible how we are being made to consume ourselves. That's why we remain in this Ouroboros relationship with ourselves through the manipulation of LSD, right? And this guy Kurzweil right here, man. It's these dudes right here, because he's not like some old Jewish dude, right? He's not some old Jewish dude who just up here spewing BS, you know? Like, he's very, very well versed, studied, and learned in what he's talking about. Been one of the leading minds and voices in this field for the past 50 plus years. And it'd be amazing to me how many people do not know who Ray Kurzweil is. Put a number 11 in the chat if you ever heard of Ray Kurzweil before tonight or before tapping in with me. I want y'all to be honest and keep it real. I'm not doing this as a moment to pat myself on the back like, oh, y'all here trying to curse. Well, I'm doing this to reflect how many people do not know who these people are. And this is how they're able to get these agendas off, because they got these people who we don't know about in very high positions of influence. I'll tell y'all who these people are so y'all can know who they are. Not to show y'all that I know who they are. And that's part of the inferiority complex that's been ingrained in our psyche and is a result of having the R complex. Right? I'll tell y'all periodically, occasionally, about the R complex, the reptilian complex, which is the oldest part of the brain, which is the part of the brain that the unintelligent artificial intelligence syncs and links with through this technology like Elon Musk got at Neuralink. It's crazy to me how guys like Kurzweil, guys like Musk, Zuckerberg, Bezos, and the like, how they sit up here and just feign ignorance in the way they do. It really, really makes me have a disdain for them. Not them as individuals, but for the forces behind them that they have allowed to basically put they whole fist up their goddamn cornhole and control them like a GD puppet. Right? And this guy right here, Kurzweil, he's specifically corrupt in a very specific way, in the way that he's the guy, like my man OG said earlier. OG, I don't know if you already aware who Ray Kurzweil is. I wouldn't be surprised if you wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if you were very familiar with who this guy is. But my man OG said it perfect, man. Let me go back to his comment. He said, Chief Futurist means he's the lead to make sure the tech reaches heights like never before. And that's what his job is at Google. Not only to take the tech to levels, heights that has never been before, but his job is to also make sure that the singularity take place. And that is the combining of unintelligent artificial intelligence tech with human biology. All right? When y'all think about what I just said, let me give y'all an image to put it in perspective for y'all. Think about the Borg from the Star Trek movies, TV shows. Right? The Borg. The Borg traveled around space in huge black cubes. The Borg was a collective, hive mind collective, unintelligent artificial intelligence construct, right? That float around the universe using sentient life forms, right, to sync and link with, to carry out the upkeep of itself as it grew and enhanced, upgraded itself, so to speak. Right? The Borg. Resistance is futile. Right? Y'all remember the Borg? Not the Borgias, that TV show, but the Borg from Star Trek: The Next Generation. And don't sit up there and act like y'all didn't watch Star Trek in the next generation, man. Everybody knows who Geordie LaForge is, who Data is, who Wesley, goddamn it, I can't even think of his damn Wesley Crusher. We all know who these people are. Whoopi Goldberg's character, I think her name was Guy on there, right? Yeah, man. Don't sit there and act like y'all ain't watched Star Trek: The Next Generation when we was kids, man. Everybody, y'all too gangster for me. Some of y'all, man. Y'all just been thug. Y'all been jumped off the porch at 6, jumped off the porch at 2. You know, but the Borg is the prime example of the hive mind collective, right? I think this was ill how they depicted this unintelligent artificial intelligence in that TV show back in the day. Resistance is futile. You hear me? Smash that like, click the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Let's go. The chief futurist. That's his position at Google.
People say that AI is not creative. It's very creative. You can actually put together possibilities that might work. For example, Moderna was trying to create their COVID vaccine. They actually put together a list of different mRNA sequences. Now, what we do in the past, someone would come in and say, well, okay, there's several billion. Let's try this one. Or maybe they'd pick 3. You can't do a clinical test on billions of different possibilities. But that's exactly what they did by simulating the reaction. And that took 2 days. So in 2 days, they created the Moderna vaccine. And that is still on the market. It's been the best vaccine. And it was done in 2 days. And we're going to do that with every other thing.
Pay attention, y'all. He's the chief futurist for a reason. Did y'all hear what he just said? No, I'm going to rewind it back. I'm going to run it back just in case y'all didn't hear what he just said. Let's go.
RNA sequences. Now, what we do in the past, someone would come in and say, well, okay, there's several billion. Let's try this one. Or maybe they'd pick 3. You can't do a clinical test on billions of different possibilities. But that's exactly what they did by simulating the reaction. And that took 2 days. So in 2 days, they created the Moderna vaccine. And that is still on the market. It's been the best vaccine. And it was done in 2 days. And we're going to do that with every other thing. There's some very promising cancer cures that are out there, which AI produced. They're looking very promising. The next few years is going to be remarkable for medicine. We had 190,000 proteins done by people.
So how y'all feel about, what y'all think about unintelligent, artificially intelligent, powered humanoid robots? Some of them not humanoid, as in they don't have no bodily tissue or organs integrated with their tech, or, right? Are we talking about having lots of mechanical enhancement, biological, even enhancement? They've been desensitizing us with the guns in our hands. I pay attention to what's going on out here, man. I'm sitting here trying to tell y'all, man.
In 2022, 2023, AlphaFold 2 did 200 million. Basically, every protein and how they fold, every protein that's used in humans and every other species on Earth, done in a few months. And we're going to be able to go through cures for diseases at the same rate. So we're going to simulate trials digitally. It'll be much safer.
One thing I got to say that I do like about Ray Kurzweil, y'all, is he speaks very clearly and legibly You could almost not mistake him or his words. He doesn't trip over his words a lot of often or often at all. He's very poised when he talks, very assured himself. He's the chief future. He knows what he's talking about. He's behind the scenes spearheading UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability, along with the help of his homeboy Soros. Right? It's crazy, y'all, man. It's crazy what times we living in, man. Crazy but beautiful, man. It's like I say, tragic but beautiful times we living in, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, y'all. Let's go, man.
It'll be 1 million times faster. And by the end of this decade, as we go into the 2030s, we're going to achieve a new milestone. It's called longevity escape velocity.
Oh,
let me say that again because you're going to be hearing.
Hold on, longevity escape velocity. Oh, let's run that back.
A lot about that. To the 2030s, we're going to achieve a new milestone. It's called longevity escape velocity. Let me say that again because you're going to be hearing a lot about that. Longevity escape velocity. Right now, you go through a year and you use up a year of your longevity. However, scientific progress is also progressing, which is actually bringing us back. It's giving us cures for diseases, new forms of treatments. So right now, you're getting back about 4 months. So you lose a year, you get back 4 months, so you're losing 8 months. However, the scientific progress is on an exponential. It's going to get faster and faster. And as we get to the early 2030s, it's between 2029 and 2035, depending on how diligent you are, you're going to get back a full year. So you lose a year, you get back a year. As we actually go past that point, you'll actually get back more than a year, and you'll go backwards in time, which would be cool.
Really? Is that easy, Ray? The devil is a lie. I'm going to just say that right there, y'all. The devil is a lie. Ain't no getting no time back. Time is an illusion. As we experience it, as we perceive it, it is an illusion. It isn't real. Time flies when you're having fun. It drags when you go doing nothing and it's boring and it's slow. Right? It's 10:52 in Columbus, Ohio right now, but out in Chicago, it's 9:52. And in California, it's 7:52. Time is an illusion. It is not real. It is not real. And I'm going to always say that, and I can always say that because it's true. I don't even have to prove it, but I can. Right? You know, time as we perceive it is not real. How do you define real? What you can see, what you can touch, what you can taste, what you can hear, what you can smell. Right? Can you smell time? Right? That's a good question, right? Can you see time? Can you hear it? Can you taste it? Can you touch it? Within this reality especially, it isn't real. It's a base construct of this reality, right? That was created, or should I say formed. Guess when? Shout out to my pops, man. Let's go.
Some people are concerned we're going to run out of resources. And actually, if we just went ahead and didn't make any new resources, we would run out of resources, like energy, for example. But it's not happening in a vacuum. AI is revolutionizing everything. For example, we only have to connect 1 part in 10,000 of the sunlight that falls on the earth to meet all of our energy needs. It's plenty of headroom. And that's growing exponentially, and we'll achieve that within 10 years. And that's also growing exponentially. So,
and I want y'all to notice when Kurzweil talks, he's speaking in present tense, man, meaning he said this stuff is going to happen. He's not saying if it happens. He's saying when it happens. I want y'all to pay attention when these people talk. These people, I mean people like Musk, people like Kurzweil, people like Gates, you know. They're not talking in what ifery or what aboutery. When they speak, they're talking about what's about to happen. All right? I just want y'all to know that, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man.
we will have plenty of resources. And when we get to the 2030s, nanobots will connect our brains to the cloud.
Nanobots?
Just the way your phone does. It'll expand intelligence 1 million-fold by 2045. That is the singularity. We will be funnier, sexier, smarter, more creative, free from biological limitations. We'll be able to choose our appearance. We'll be able to do things we can't do today, like visualize objects in 11 dimensions. We can speak all languages. We'll be able to expand consciousness in ways we can barely imagine. We will experience richer culture with our extra years. So I've recently become a grandfather. I'm very much looking forward to that, spending more.
Right. Now, what Kurzweil didn't say was how that's going to happen. He just said when it's going to happen. He didn't say how. Listen here, man. Man. And I keep telling y'all, if you haven't already seen this movie, go see it. Ready Player One. Y'all should go see this movie. This movie is exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all definitely need to go. This movie came out in 2018, I think. Y'all should definitely go see Ready Player One, man. I suggest you go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. It's a dope-ass movie, man. And it's very, very telling of what's to come, or should I say, pause, what's already here. Now, I also reference this movie a lot because it's based in my hometown of Columbus, Ohio. Right? Which is very telling in itself. You know? Seeing as how all these major tech companies are now building their corporate main offices right here in my city. Google, Intel, Facebook, Amazon. You feel me? Meta, as it's now called with Facebook. Man. Listen here, y'all. Trying to tell y'all what's coming, man. Or should I say, I can't even say coming, what's here. Right? I can't say the smart grid is coming. It's here. You feel me? And when you look at this tech right here, man, you know, they ain't playing no games. I keep telling y'all human brain computer interfacing. They want to sync and link us to computers. So in efforts to separate us from our link, and we already got and even within the fallen state we in, we still have that connection to the source. The unintelligent artificial intelligence wants us to be disconnected from the source and connected to it. Sounds familiar? I'm here trying to tell y'all, man. The Oasis, man. Go watch Ready Player One so y'all can know what the Oasis is. Oasis is what the metaverse is. Or should I say going to be. This is why I tell y'all need to go watch this movie Ready Player One, man. Y'all need to go. If y'all haven't seen that movie, y'all need to watch it. Not only is it a good movie, right? Because it is. It's a very good movie. But it's a very telling movie, right? Very telling. You know? This is crazy, man. Right? Crazy, man. Remember this? Remember this? This is wild, y'all. All right?
Introducing BrainBridge, the world's first revolutionary concept for a head transplant machine, which uses state-of-the-art robotics and artificial intelligence to conduct complete head and face transplantation procedures, ensuring smooth outcomes and faster recoveries. Because head transplants require high speed, precision, and efficiency, BrainBridge utilizes advanced high-speed, high-precision robotic systems to speed up the process, eliminate human error, prevent brain cell degradation, and ensure seamless compatibility. The head transplant procedure involves removing a person's entire head containing the brain from their current diseased body and attaching it to the body of a healthy, young, brain-dead donor.
The devil is alive, man. Y'all remember this? When I showed y'all this? The devil is alive, man.
Could provide individuals with severe medical conditions such as terminal cancer, paralysis, spinal cord injuries, or neurodegenerative diseases the opportunity to have a fully functional body while preserving their consciousness, memories, and cognitive abilities. The neurons are the longest-lasting functional cells in the human body. And according to our estimates, the brain is capable of lasting several hundred years, provided that the rest of the body remains young. The BrainBridge concept involves the use of the integrated robotics platform comprised of the two autonomous surgical robots, designed to perform simultaneous surgeries on two bodies side by side within a single setup. The complete robotization of the process allows for the surgery to be performed in an environment with varying temperature and pressure. The procedure begins by preparing the donor and recipient bodies. The donor is a brain-dead patient who has a functional body with vital organs in good condition, while the recipient is the patient whose head will be transplanted onto the new body. General anesthesia is administered to both the recipient and the donor. Both patients undergo tracheotomy, with a tube inserted into the trachea to provide respiratory support and facilitate mechanical ventilation. Our proprietary...
See this, man? This is crazy, right? So we got this right here. But see, when you tap in on Netflix and you watch Altered Carbon, right? Hold on, let me find it. Niggas trying to build cortical stacks. Well, yeah, if y'all paid attention to this show on Netflix, I've been talking to y'all about too.
Your body is not who you are. You shed it like a snake sheds its skin.
He can barely walk at first. You'll have to pull him out.
I'm gonna get this shit all over me.
He'll get used to it. Just to can him. We got 4 more to do in the next hour. All right, buddy, enough of that.
Oh, shit. Give me a mirror. There are no mirrors here.
Hey guys, what's happening? Niat here with Film Comics Explained. I've been receiving a lot of requests to cover the sci-fi Netflix series Altered Carbon, and thought that we could begin our exploration.
I'm about to stop because I don't want to get hit with no. They be hitting you with the copyright joints, man. But y'all go to Netflix and check this out. I just want to get to the part where they talk about some the cortical stacks.
By taking a look at the cortical stacks and the process of resleeving that allowed people to extend their lifespans, as featured in the show. Adapted from the novel of the same name by Richard K. Morgan, Altered Carbon depicts a Blade Runner-esque cyberpunk future in which people had the ability to download their consciousness into new bodies, referred to as sleeves, through the use of cybernetic implants known as cortical stacks. The series follows Takeshi Kovacs, a former super soldier who wakes up 250 years after the destruction of his sleeve and is working to solve the murder of the wealthiest man in the world. The cortical stacks were essentially tiny cyberware data storage units that were protected within a synth diamond case about the size of a grape, which were implanted at the base of people's skulls where the brainstem and spinal cord connected. Once activated, they would begin making a digital backup of a person's ego, which through psychoanalytic terms just means the part of the mind that mediates between the conscious and the unconscious, which was responsible for reality shaping and acquiring a sense of personal identity. Composed of non-terrestrial metals which were left by an alien civilization, along with the astrogation.
Non-terrestrial aliens. This is all in this TV show, Altered Carbon, y'all. Right? Y'all go check Altered Carbon out on Netflix. You did. Come on, let's go.
Charts that mapped out several habitable worlds within the galaxy. The unique materials, along with advances in human technologies, made digital human freights a reality. This technology was also originally developed as a means of interstellar travel to reach the habitable planets that were mentioned earlier, that would have otherwise taken
interstellar travel. Other worlds.
Taken centuries to get to through traditional travel methods. By downloading the human consciousness, they were in essence able to transmit consciousness from one planet to another into a waiting sleeve in an instantaneous form of transfer that was called needle casting. Part nanoware, the implant maintained a network of nanobots that monitored synaptic connections and brain architecture, noting any changes and updating the ego backup in real time. With no inbuilt wireless access capabilities, stacks had to be surgically removed from corpses in a process known as popping, where a skilled extractor would get the implant to literally pop out by making a small cut in the correct place and applying pressure. Cortical stacks could be removed from living people, but the process was usually fatal, or at least would cause paralysis as it involved cutting through the spinal column. Once the use of cortical stacks became a ubiquitous part of the human condition, human bodies were considered nothing more than sleeves for the human consciousness. Over time, sleeving became a method for extending life indefinitely for those who could afford it, with the wealthiest people making sleeves that were genetic replicas of themselves, while the poor had no choice and were often forced into sleeves that were not age or health appropriate. We get a brief glimpse of this in the show, with a family who had lost their daughter to a car accident and under the legal precedent of victim restitution, were provided with an unsuitable sleeve, forcing their young daughter into the body of an elderly woman.
What have you done to our daughter? Cindy's 7 years old. You get whatever's in inventory. She was murdered in a hit and run. The law says she gets a free sleeve. And that one's free. If you don't like it, pay for an upgrade, put her back in storage.
Daddy, please don't put me back in the dark again.
I think it's important.
Y'all see that? This is why they're trying to convince us that we need to be synthetic in every way. Look how we being made to be fake and synthetic. Fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake toupees, fake 360s, fake beards, fake butts, fake everything, man. I want y'all to understand what this is doing to us psychologically, perceptually. Let's go.
Important to note that the cost of a single clone sleeve was more than what the average citizen would make in a year, highlighting the fact that wealth inequality was just as much an issue in the future as it was in the past. Because of the nominal ability to revive anyone who died, so long as the cortical stack remained intact, sleeve death was legally changed from a crime of murder to mere property damage, and it was only when the cortical stacks were destroyed in a process known as slagging that the perpetrator would face murder charges. Unfortunately, this encouraged the wealthy elites to sadistically destroy the sleeves of poor people who willingly agreed to this act in return for money. If an individual had died in violent circumstances, they would often experience intense psychological trauma after being placed in a foreign sleeve. This trauma varied depending on how foreign the sleeve was to that of the previous vessel, with drastic changes in age, race, and gender causing more lasting shock. And it was because of this that all sleeving facilities were equipped with highly trained therapists and psychologists on hand to assist with these transitions. With that in mind, there were unique mental conditioning techniques that allowed a person to drastically reduce this shock, as seen with the envoys, which were a group of elite super soldiers that were trained to withstand the psychological trauma that came with frequent resleeving. Within the world of altered carbon, there also existed an expensive service known as remote DHF backup, which held and updated a duplicate of a client's consciousness in a separate remote cortical stack that was often secured in a vault. This added an extra layer of protection for the wealthy, ensuring that even if their cortical stack was destroyed.
Remember when I did the show on digital DNA downloading storage? Huh? Right? Remember when I did the show on that, y'all? Digital DNA downloading storage. I'm telling you, they got the technology to do this stuff right now. Let's go.
Destroyed, they still had a backup in a secure location with all their memories leading up to the most recent update.
Have you ever heard of full spectrum DHF remote storage backup?
Yeah. Just never met anyone filthy rich enough to afford it.
Interestingly, this also granted people the ability to place their duplicated consciousness into the sleeve of an additional body, in a process that was called double sleeving, though the practice was illegal and punishable by death.
You live against the truth of the universe, you know. If you have a family, you're aware that your children will someday die, but you don't treat them as dead. You treat them as living creatures that you have to nurture. And I think the same is true of your own life, that you're aware it's finite, you're aware that you'll only have a certain amount of time, but we don't live with it because it's not in the way we're wired to live with that.
Another great addition to the roster of new content developed by Netflix. I highly recommend Altered Carbon to fans of the sci-fi genre that appreciate the works of Richard K. Morgan and the likes of Philip K. Dick. Well, that's all for today, folks. Thanks to all of you guys who...
Y'all suggest y'all go watch that too, man. Watch that Altered Carbon. Right? And this is where all this stuff is headed to, man. This is why I talk about this stuff in the way that I do. Because this is where it's all headed to, man. It's all headed or leading us to the metaverse. Y'all got to know it ain't no mystery why Zuckerberg changed the name of the company to Meta. That wasn't by accident. That wasn't something that he, thought of on his own. There's a reason why they're calling it Meta. Short for the metaverse. So what does that tell y'all about Facebook? All my people in the chat in the comment section tapping in right now. What does that tell you about Facebook? Zuckerberg changed the name of the company to Meta a few years ago, short for the metaverse. In 2011, my fault, not 2011. No, it's 2011. Facebook acquired the virtual reality headset company Oculus. Right? Just a few years ago, Zuckerberg decides to rename the company Meta. After all that stuff came out, about him hiring the one tech company to influence people to vote for Barack Obama and all that crazy stuff, right? So he decides to change the name of the company to Meta, short for the metaverse. In the movie Ready Player One, the character who developed the Oasis is a guy named Halliday or some shit like that. He's a loose depiction of Zuckerberg, if you ask me. Right? A loose depiction of Zuckerberg in that movie. Yeah, man. You know what I'm talking about? We about to get up out of here, man. Right? They mixing computers with us, man. I keep telling y'all this is where this stuff is headed, man. They're about to start trying to upgrade us. We're about to start having the ability and the opportunities to biomechanically enhance and upgrade ourselves. And by syncing and linking with the unintelligent artificial intelligence, under the guise of it somehow helping us, improving us, enhancing us, upgrading us, we are in fact syncing and linking ourselves, creating our a situation and creating the link physically, right, to be connected to the smart grid, metaverse, social credit system, which is actually the digital, holographic, electronic, virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality expression of the very mind, thought process of Lucifer, Satan, the devil. How y'all like that? You feel me? And this is how I can say that God is real, because this was revealed to me. I didn't just come up with this on my own. I would never take credit. I didn't come up with this on my own. This was revealed to me. And when I began to put it all together, I was like, oh, shit. This is what they doing. This is what it's all about. All right? So y'all got to be able to put that thing together, man. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm able to break it down in the ways that I'm able to, but that don't mean everybody gonna get it. Everybody's not meant to get it. 92 Dolo, what's happening, man? Oh yeah, it's very serious. It's not serious. It's very serious, y'all. It's not a game. It's not a joke. You already know, Uncle Diggity, man. All praises due, man. You know, we all are works in progress. We all are on our own trajectory, but collectively, we got to recognize how we all are connected to each other, right? And I would encourage y'all to inform yourselves on as much as you can concerning the unintelligent artificial intelligence. I do what I can over here. I think I do a very decent job with the people who I'm connected with and all of that, but you know, it is what it is, man. You know? Tomorrow night, y'all, I had a show scheduled to talk about Kamala Harris because I came across some more information. But tomorrow is Jazz at the Park at Mamie Moore Park in my city in the King Arts Complex District. And me and my sister are going to go out there and hang out and listen to some music and go patronize one of the many Black-owned vendors. I swear I'm going to go live when I'm up here too, y'all. It's dope, man. Y'all going to love it, man. I wish every city in America did something like this. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to be like singling us out for nobody, but you know, it is what it is, man. I love my people, man. You feel me? Specifically, I love everybody, but when it comes to my people, man, I love my people, man. You feel me? And I just like to engage and interact with them. In that event, they having that Mamie Moore, and they have or been having that Mamie Moore at like the last 2 months in my city of summer, and they for like 2 months straight. They just have get-together gatherings at this park called Mamie Moore Park in my city. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's truly beautiful, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I encourage every city in America to do something similar. You know what I'm talking about? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, get your asses in the gym. Health is wealth. Drink your water. You know what I'm talking about? Keep your energy up. You know what I'm saying? Keep your faith up. Because like my man 92 Dolo said, oh, it's serious. Oh, yeah, it's serious. It ain't a joke. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's very serious. And we will be doing ourselves and each other huge favors, right, by treating it as such. I want y'all to understand what's so serious about this whole human brain computer interfacing thing, man. Right? On the surface, it seems like it's some cool type, super sweet type stuff, right? But actuality, it's the very structure and system that's going to sync and link, connect us to the very mind of the devil himself. See how easy I can just say that, y'all, and it just wrote. I'm being dead ass when I say that. I'm not like saying that for pizzazz or fanfare or none of that shit, you know, subscribers or none of that shit, clout, none of that. I'm saying it because that's what it is. You know, I'm just fortunate that I was chosen to be revealed this information to, and then share it with y'all. And y'all make of it what y'all will. But one thing for sure, 2 things for sure, I got to make sure I do on my end. And I got to thank the Most High for this too, because I get this from him, the ability to be able to prove it. Right? Like I do. Right? Y'all have a good evening, man. We're about to get up out of here, Jack. You know? Appreciate everybody tapping in. Everybody showing that support. We grinding and we growing, you did. Boy, it seems like getting across that 1,000 subscribers threshold, boy. You know, I'll be thinking to my own, you know, whatever, right? We'll listen to. Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to listen. We're going to listen to some of my brother King L's. You did. All right, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all smash that like button. You already know, OG. I appreciate that, man. I do this for y'all, man. I do this for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? With the mercies and the blessings of the Most High, He reveals the knowledge to me, and I share it with y'all, man. You feel me? That's a fact. You feel me? I appreciate y'all tapping in. Like I said, we grinding, we growing. About to have a wine tasting event coming up. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful thing. Of course, we always know more content always is coming. Keep the content coming. That's nothing. You feel me? And we're diversifying, man. Stepping the game up. You dig? You know what I'm saying? I got some good news, but I don't want to share it till it's all the way official. You feel me? And when I do, just know it's going to be a beautiful thing, Jack. You hear me? It's going to be a beautiful thing, Jack. Shout out to the homie Sir Ism, man. All right? Y'all got to understand, man, doing this content, man, when brothers got life going on, and we still bring all this content, man. You feel me? You know, smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. You know, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Tomorrow evening, we ain't going to have the show. I'm going to postpone that to another time. But Thursday, tomorrow, we're going to be at Maybe More Park. Me and my sis, we're going to be getting it in with the brethren and sister. And it's going to be fire, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. This is off my brother King L's new album, Trill Vibe Music 2. Song is entitled Rushes, man. Y'all know nothing about Rushes, man. That's in Columbus, Ohio Staple. They about to open up a second location in Gehenna. You dig? Google Rushes. Ask anybody you know from Columbus about Rushes. Rushes Bakery. You dig? Let's go.
K.I. E&E. You already know what it is. Intervision, E&E all day, every day, no days off. I'm too much for these homies and too much for these hoes. I'm restless in my city, homie, great with flipping dough. Listen, I'm too much for these homies, too much for these hoes. I'm restless in my city, homie, great with flipping dough. Listen, I'm too much for these homies, too much for these hoes. I'm restless in my city, homie, great with flipping dough. Listen, I'm too much for these homies, too much for these hoes. I'm restless in my city, homie, great with flipping dough. Don H in the party, baby, fill up your cup. We ain't with none of them problems. Keep that thing in the trunk. We some trill cool homies, only worry about paper. Spilling Don H on the couch and screaming, fuck all you haters. Cuban chain on my neck, Dominican my cigar. So when she messing up to see, she sit in my car. My niggas see me my moves. They ain't used to these views. They come in all different hues. Just do not abuse. True players see the haters in the nosebleeds, homie. Fish your way up, get your pay up. These the floor seats, homie. Homie, I ain't just talking. Just know I said it, I did it. May it dodge a couple coffins. I'm just thankful for living. King. I'm too much for these homies and too much for these hoes. I'm restless in my city, homie. Great with flipping dough. Listen, I'm too much for these homies, too much for these hoes. I'm restless in my city, homie. Great with flipping dough. Listen, I'm too much for these homies, too much for these hoes. I'm restless in my city, homie. Great with flipping dough. Listen, I'm too much for these homies, too much for these hoes. I'm restless in my city, homie. Great with flipping dough. King.